I bought a broken MacBook Neo from eBay for one reason. Not just to fix it, but to turn it into something Apple doesn't sell, or anyone really. This one has a cracked display. It was sold as damaged and the screen does not work properly. Normally, that would just mean a basic repair video, but because the MacBook Neo is actually repairable, we can use Apple's own parts that they sell to bring it back to life. Not only that, but we could take it further and make this the best looking MacBook Neo ever. But first, let's check out the damage. It's crazy to me that someone already broke their MacBook Neo. Like, the box had the original chargers, but the screen is already broken. Thankfully, we have an original screen directly from Apple. So this cost me 359 Canadian dollars. So obviously a very expensive screen, but for an original part, it's not absolutely horrible. Let's open it up. It comes with the screws. That's pretty cool. And the screen is over here. As someone who repairs stuff, there's a lot of defective parts out there. But when you get one directly from Apple, the chances of that actually happening are so rare. Now, let's flip this over for the surprise. Boom. You can see that it is not the same color as the MacBook Neo we have. That's because we're gonna be doing some major customizations and it's gonna look good. I promise you that. We made a mock-up and we know it'll look good, but I wanna know what you guys think at the end of the video, so let me know. The screen, like I said, wasn't cheap, but the next part is kind of stupid how expensive it is. Anyway, we'll grab our screwdriver and hit the MacBook Neo with an unscrew. Now, if you're doing this repair sometime in the future, do I recommend you buy parts directly from Apple? You can, if you want. The thing is, there's gonna be so many of these that are broken, and you can probably pull the parts that you need from another MacBook Neo that may be broken for cheaper. So always look for that option if you want to fix your own MacBook Neo or someone else's. Also, because this is from eBay, I don't really know if it's been opened before. Let's see what happens. And we have all the screws off. It's time to pop open this MacBook Neo, and boom, fresh MacBook Neo, absolutely untouched. That's exactly what we want to see. Because this is pristine and untouched, we're gonna keep it that way and put on some gloves. So to get to the screen, we obviously have 2 connectors here and we have 4 screws. We also have 4 screws in today's sponsor. While I'm repairing devices, I absolutely hate stopping just to text, and native dictation just never gets everything right, which is where WhisperFlow comes in, the sponsor of today's video. With WhisperFlow, I can yell at my phone and it'll convert that into natural sounding text. Whisper if you need to. It works across all apps and devices and gets everything right the first time, so you don't have to go in and fix it. Now I know what you're thinking. Your phone already does that, and yes, you're right, but it's not good. Watch this. Pad kid poured curd pulled cod. That's Whisper. Now let's do the native dictation. Pad kid poured curd pulled cod. Bruh. WhisperFlow even understands when you correct yourself, and gives you the final version that you meant. Boom. Correction built in. So while I'm working on this MacBook Neo, I can write notes, prompts, captions, or messages without fully stopping the repair. Try WhisperFlow with the link below. Users can use my promo code GURU at desktop checkout to get 1 month of WhisperFlow Pro for free. Back to MacBook. So to replace the screen, standard practice, we need to disconnect the battery. One thing that does kind of concern me when working on the MacBook Neo is how much that board bends. Like, I'm applying some slight pressure here and it's just bending back and forth. Thankfully, I don't think that'll really damage anything, but if this was an iPhone board, yeah, it definitely would. There we go. Battery is disconnected. Next up, we have these 2 connectors over here. Boom. And now we can actually just pull on it. You guys might have seen calibration on iPhone parts before, but there's actually calibration on MacBook parts now. And I have to do that later when I replace the screen. So to remove the broken screen, we just need to unscrew these 4 screws on the hinge. Then we'll remove the black antenna up here, which should give us enough space to wiggle off the display. The new displays are sold with the whole top lid. That's great for the mod we're doing, but not so great for the environment. Sure, you can get a credit from Apple if you send in your old display and they'll recycle it, but what if you only needed to replace your front-facing camera? What do? Anyway, now we can screw down the hinge nice and tight. The screen is now in place, which means I can reconnect the antennas, the display cables, and even the battery. I'm doing that now because I want to check out the part calibration menu and see exactly what that looks like on a MacBook. First things first, I'm going to remove this peel up here, and boom. You can already see that it's prompting us to configure the new display. This looks very similar to the parts and service menu menu on iPhones. We'll hit restart and finish repair. The MacBook Neo is turning back on and we're now in the repair assistant menu. There really doesn't seem to be much manual intervention here. It's recognized that it's a genuine display and that's pretty much it. The mod's already looking amazing with just the new screen on. I can't wait to see how it looks when we're done with everything though. Next up, we have the trackpad. So just like the last, this part is from Apple. There it is. It's in a pretty serious package here. We'll pull it out and it looks like there are 2 packages. So as you can see, boom. What? It's also silver. We have a color scheme going with this MacBook Neo, which won't end until we get everything exactly the way we designed. Now we can move this aside and open that MacBook Neo back up. So if you're wondering how much the trackpad costs, it was 128 Canadian dollars. That's a lot if you ask me. To remove the old trackpad, you just need to unscrew these 4 screws on the back metal plate. That is where the trackpad makes contact with this little nub here, and then you get that clicking effect. Before we go further here, we are going to have to disconnect the trackpad. There's 4 more screws that we need to remove, and now we should be able to just lift the old one out. So this comes pre-screwed over here, which is extremely nice because I can literally just take it, smack it in. So far, this has all been pretty easy, but I am a bit worried about replacing the keys later on because that can be kind of risky. And damn, not even exaggerating, that looks amazing, but it doesn't feel very clicky. Thankfully, there is this screw in the middle here, and adjusting this adjusts the sensitivity of the click. We're just gonna get straight into it. This is the part that I've been the most excited, but also the most scared for. The keycaps. This only cost about $60 and I'm wondering if there are any tools in here. We have the keycaps. All of them are neatly placed just like they would be on your keyboard. There's also plastic above it so nothing's coming loose. Pretty cool packaging, Apple. There's no tools in there, which is a little bit disappointing because this isn't easy to do, and if you have to do this, I recommend proceeding with extreme caution because a lot can go wrong, and if you have to replace the entire keyboard, good luck. So to remove the cap, we have to stick a spudger or a pry tool in, and you just kind of lift up and feel around from the bottom. Now that I heard the click, I know that the keycap's more or less ready to come off. You absolutely never want to pry from the top because you can damage quite a bit. And I'm just going to kind of pull it out. We have the first keycap successfully removed. On Apple's little contraption, you can just kind of peel away the paper and pick the exact key you want without disturbing the piece of the other keys. Now, putting the key back in is so much easier than taking it out. You kind of just boom. And check that out. After the first one was installed, it just kind of got easier and easier. I got more and more confident very quickly, and the keycaps were stacking up. There is one final boss here, which is the spacebar, but I'm not gonna do that until later. I genuinely reached a flow state here because something that I used to be hesitant and borderline scared to do just became extremely easy. Apple does sell a specific tool to do this, and I was hoping that it would come with this kit, but it didn't. Apple also has very detailed diagrams and instructions on how to do this process on their self-service repair website, which I highly recommend you check out if you ever find yourself doing this. I'm down to the top row here, and in 3, 2, 1, all that's left is the space bar. It's different because it has 2 separate clips which you need to click out one after the other. Then you can gently wiggle it out. The new space bar didn't actually come with the bars installed, but that was surprisingly easy to do. We also went ahead and changed the USB-C ports and the audio jack to really make sure that everything is matching and looking good. Damn. This looks so good. I think this is the best looking MacBook Neo on earth right now. But before we get too excited, we still have to test everything and reveal the total price of everything. I think you guys will be kind of surprised by it. To test this, we're actually going to be using Apple's very own diagnostics menu. This is pretty thorough, and when you use Apple original parts, it works like a charm. We've confirmed that everything is working, so it's time to talk pricing. Everything here, including the screen replacement, the mod, and the MacBook Neo itself, cost us $1,096, which is only a little bit more expensive than buying one brand new. The thing is, obviously, Apple increased the price recently, which is why this is now worth it. But if I had to suggest you guys do any mod from this video, it would probably be the keys. It's tough, but it's definitely the most worth it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.